Brothers and sisters in Christ, grace and peace to you. I am Reverend Dave Peterson, and I chair the Program Review Committee of the Conference Connectional Ministries Council, or CCMC. The CCMC is comprised of the programming and mission boards of the conference, such as the Board of Conference, Camp, and Retreat Ministries, the Board of Discipleship, the Commission on the Status and Role of Women, and the Older Adult Council. It is CCMC's responsibility to prepare for the Council on Finance and Administration the recommendation for the missions portion of the conference budget. Last year, our annual conference session voted to adopt and implement 3 strategic priorities for our conference's work. 1. Creating world-transforming communities of faith. 2. Equipping ourselves and others as transformational leaders. And 3. Directing our resources to our common goals. At the end of the Strategic Priorities document, which is included again in this year's pre-conference manual, there were 15 questions intended for our use in aligning our work around these priorities. Last summer, the Connectional Ministries Council used the Strategic Priorities document to redesign its ministry plan preparation documents and program review process. As you read your pre-conference materials, you will see that all agencies of the conference, both mission programming agencies and administrative agencies, were asked how they were using the strategic priorities to formulate their ministry plans and utilize any funding they might receive. In addition, these agencies under the Connectional Ministries Council were asked how they were utilizing evaluation processes and collaboration with other groups to formulate their plans. As we designed the CCMC's program review process, we used the 15 questions in the Aligning Support and Accountability section of the Strategic Priorities document to develop criteria for identifying how well the ministry plans of each agency were directed toward our priorities. We held meetings with each CCMC agency to discuss their ministry plans, and then scored each agency's plan on how well it addressed each criterion from not at all to addresses the criterion and provides supporting data and descriptions. The Program Review Committee then prepared a report of the scoring and the hearings for the Connectional Ministries Council. At its February meeting, the Connectional Ministries Council met to discuss the Program Review Report and to prepare its budget recommendation for the Council on Finance and Administration. The missions budget you see in your pre-conference manual is the one approved by the entire Conference Connectional Ministries Council at the February meeting. There are some elements of the budget decision-making process that are important for you to know. First, CCMC decided to tithe its budget. With 8% of the funding in the missions budget, it's designated for the Matthew 25 initiative district ministries that directly address ministries with the poor, the immigrant, the imprisoned, and the marginalized. And 2% will be utilized for emerging ministries, ministries that are not a part of any current plans but are intended to meet ministry opportunities that arise during the year. CCMC will be developing a plan this summer for how groups or agencies can apply for those funds. Second, every agency received funding. The ministry plans that scored the highest were funded at 95% of their request. The ministry plans that scored the lowest were funded at 40%. And a graduated scale was used to determine the funding percentage for the ministry plans that fell in between. CCMC also made a few adjustments in the funding percentages for some agencies in order to address their particular needs in their agencies. Third, you'll notice that there are a few agencies that did not receive any funding. For some of those agencies, this is at their request, because they believe they can fulfill their ministry objectives without receiving apportionment funding. Other agencies are not currently active because they did not submit a ministry plan. They did not receive funding. This does not mean that these agencies are without resources for any ministry they might plan to do next year. Remember, any agency can apply for emerging ministry funds to meet a ministry opportunity. So if a currently inactive agency becomes reactivated and needs funding to implement a plan for ministry, CCMC will be able to support it. The Connectional Ministries Council still has much work to do in aligning the resources you entrust to us with the conference's priorities. There are many opportunities for new ministry and for leadership development in our conference, and we want to be able to make the most of them. We know we have more work to do if our ministry planning and budgeting is going to reflect these priorities. As always, our goal is to partner with the congregations of the conference in developing and growing disciples of Jesus Christ. Thank you, and God bless.